I want to start this video off with a challenge. Name 5 to 10 of the first summit level cheerleading teams that come to your mind. Pause here while you think. Done? Okay. I can bet a substantial amount of money that the majority of you thought about Top Gun 24K or Cheer Extreme C4. They're both summit level teams that rack up banners like it's clockwork, but while some of you might know, others might not, I want to tell you that not everything about these teams is exactly what it seems. Today, we're talking about the growing issue of level 6 athletes dominating lower levels and how it's creating an uneven playing field, especially for smaller gyms. Let's dive in. I want to give a special thanks to this commenter for inspiring this video. This is a great topic that I think everyone should pay attention to. In all-star cheerleading, athletes are grouped by skill level from 1 to 7. This system is designed to keep athletes safe, keep competition fair, and give athletes room to grow. But lately, we've seen an increase in top-level athletes, specifically level 6 athletes, crossing over into lower divisions, like level 4 and 5. And it's not just a few flyer fill-ins. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, many will think of teams like C4 and 24K before others, but here's what most people don't realize. A huge number of athletes on C4 also compete on Cheer Extreme Senior Elite, a level 6 large all-girl worlds team. Same goes for 24K. Many of their athletes also cheer on Top Gun Revelation, their medium co-ed level 6 worlds team. Top Gun Orlando even leans into it. They call it Rev 4K, like it's a brand now. And I'm sure among those who didn't know, there are plenty of people who did know. Some might not even see a real issue with it, but I feel it's something worth talking about. Let's be clear. These athletes are insanely talented. This isn't shade at the cheerleaders. The problem is structural, because when level 6 athletes compete in level 4 or 5 divisions, it completely shifts the balance. These athletes have years of elite training, fulls, 2-to-fulls, experience under pressure, and often, let's be honest, much better resources, especially if they come from bigger gyms like Cheer Extreme and Top Gun All-Stars. So, when you've got a small gym that is truly level 4, athletes still working up to solid layouts and round-off handspring tucks, they go up against kids who throw fulls on their day off. It's demoralizing. And this isn't just a theory or a mere idea of what might just happen. This is something that happens almost every year at Summit. People overcrowd the venue or prepare popcorn at home just in anticipation for teams like C4 and 24K. They anticipate watching the two teams go head-to-head without even considering who might be in 3rd or 4th, because everyone already knows that it'll be one of the two as the champion. Smaller gyms put in just as much work, but with fewer resources, no crossover pipeline, and more realistic athletes for the level. It becomes a visibility game. Who gets the glory? The big names. And who gets pushed out? The teams that are actually level 4. But here's where we take a breath, because it's not all black and white. Take Brandon All-Stars Lightning, their level 5 team in 2024. That year, a decent number of their athletes were also on Brandon's level 6 non-tumbling team, Smoke. But here's the key difference. Smoke isn't the program's top team. Senior Black is. So if an athlete from Lightning also cheers on Smoke, it's usually because they're a level 5 tumbler who wants the challenge of a level 6 non-tumble routine. That's not the same thing as a world's ring holder dropping into a level 4 team for Summit. It was an opportunity, not a strategy. So yes, crossovers can be used ethically, but it depends on intent and execution. And for the record, Lightning got 2nd at Summit that year. And here's another layer to the conversation. NCA has rules about this. They actually limit the number of level 6 athletes who can cross over onto lower level teams. They limit the crossovers to 10 athletes. So take a wild guess as to who usually skips out on competing at NCA every year. If you said 24K and C4, you would be correct. The biggest, most prestigious national competition of the year, these teams don't compete, because their rosters are built in a way that wouldn't fly under NCA's rules. That tells you something. When level 6 athletes dominate lower levels, it does a few things. For one, it discourages smaller gyms from even attending Summit. Why pay thousands for travel when you know the top of your division is basically a level 6 show? Secondly, it sends the message that success only comes from being affiliated with bigger gyms. There's a reason why it's Cheer Extreme and Top Gun All-Stars dominating these divisions with their higher level athletes. Everyone should be aware of that. And lastly, it shrinks opportunities. The divisions don't just represent skill, they represent development. And when you flood them with the best of the best, there's no room for actual growth. Think of it like a varsity football player playing for the JV team, or a level 10 gymnast dropping down to level 7. It defeats the purpose of a tiered system. To be clear, I'm not saying that we ban crossovers altogether. I'm saying that we need boundaries. Maybe the solution is capping the number of crossovers from level 6 to lower levels, or at least monitoring it. But doing nothing, that's not sustainable. Because if we keep pretending that teams like 24K and C4 are traditional level 4 teams, we're lying to ourselves. And more importantly, we're letting down the kids who actually belong in level 4 and deserve a fair shot at winning. At the end of the day, cheer is about more than banners and bids. It's about growth, challenge, and equity. And if we can't protect that, what are we really doing? And before we wrap this up, let's zoom in on the division that started this whole conversation, Medium Co-Ed Level 4. The division that teams like 24K and C4 dominate. Let's be honest, Medium Co-Ed Level 4 is arguably the most watched, most anticipated, and most hyped division at the summit. People treat it like a Worlds final, not because of the level itself, but because who's in it. And that's the problem. We're so focused on watching level 6 athletes pretend to be level 4 that we've stopped appreciating the actual level 4 athletes. The ones who train just as hard, show up with heart, and hit the mat with everything they've got, even if they don't have a Worlds ring or an elite coach in their corner. What message are we sending to those actual lower level athletes? Are we telling them that their routines are just openers for the main event? Warm-ups before the big names go head-to-head? It's no wonder that so many lower level athletes feel underappreciated. They're being overshadowed in their own division by people who've already outgrown it. If Summit is supposed to be the peak for non-Worlds athletes, then let's make it that. Let's give them the spotlight. Let's give them the fairness that they deserve. Let's stop using lower levels as rehearsal stages for already established elites. And if you've made it this far, I want to ask a question, not just to cheerleaders, but to coaches, gym owners, parents, and even producers. Why are we okay with this? Why are we okay with 16-year-old Worlds athletes standing atop level 4 summit podiums, taking gold medals away from kids who might have just learned how to full that season? Why are we okay with building entire summit strategies around level 6 rosters when the event was literally created to be a Super Bowl for non-Worlds teams? The same goes for other crossover circumstances, like level 4 and 5 athletes crossing over into level 2. That really happens, but why? It's time to take a hard look at what's actually happening, the reality of the kids placing behind the Worlds athletes competing at Summit. Think about the 12-year-old who gets second place behind a team stacked with level 6 athletes. The athlete goes home and feels like their best wasn't good enough, not because they didn't work hard, but because they were never given a fair shot. And what does that do for the long-term growth of the sport? When we discourage small gym participation and build a system that overwhelmingly rewards big gym tactics, we lose diversity, we lose development, and we lose the reason this sport grew in the first place. Let's be real, this isn't just about two teams. This is about a pattern that's slowly becoming normalized, a pattern that chips away at the integrity of the division system, a pattern that sends the message that cheerleading is only for the most resourced, most polished, and most strategically built programs. Summit is supposed to be the summit, the peak for athletes who aren't at Worlds. And if we're letting it become a sandbox for level 6 athletes, we're not protecting the sport we all claim to love. So, to every athlete grinding at their actual level, to every coach who builds teams with integrity, and to every small gym fighting to be seen, you matter, your routines matter, and your progress matters. Let's make sure the system sees that too. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave any comments you might have in the comment section below. Bye!